So welcome everybody to the pre-match press conference ahead of your Whites game against Norway in Oslo, which is being played Wednesday morning in New Zealand, obviously Tuesday evening in Norway. We're joined by All Whites captain Chris Wood and All Whites head coach Darren Bazeley to answer your questions. So I'll kick off with an opening question and hand over to you guys to ask whatever you want to ask. So Baze, obviously a good performance against Poland and a narrow defeat. So what have been the priorities between that game and ahead of the game, obviously on Tuesday evening, to work on?
Yes, I mean, like you say, it was a good performance, but we're at that stage now where it's not enough for us. We came away to Poland, in a good crowd and performed pretty well, but we got beat. So I think that's happened too much for us. But the good thing is now we're playing against teams ranked 30 in the world, in the 30s. And we're disappointed to not win games, but we have to take that next step and find that real cutting edge, that real ruthlessness to win games of football. But there's a lot of positives in regards to some of the things we're trying to do against these better teams. It's not easy winning games of football at any level, but when we come away from home and we're playing higher ranked teams, it's difficult. But yeah, we're moving in the right direction. So yeah, since that game, had a good couple of days recovery. We've arrived here in Norway and had a good training session yesterday. And yeah, we've got another training today at the stadium.
Awesome. Over to you guys.
Hey guys, hey Darren, hey Chris, Andrew Vorman here. Darren, just is everyone fit and available for tomorrow's match? I guess just maybe an update on Joe Bell after he didn't play on Thursday night.
Yeah, I mean we're in a good place. We're very hopeful that everybody can train today and be available for selection for the game. So yeah, I mean there was obviously Joe felt something within his muscle for the game the other day, so it wasn't risked. Obviously he's a very good player, so we didn't feel like risking him in that game. It wasn't right. So he's had a good few days recovery, worked with the medical team, and yeah, he trained yesterday and he'll train again today.
Hey guys, Zion here. Hope you're well. Chris, look, the last time we spoke to you was those Australia games back on this side of the world. Since then, a lot's changed in your club duties. I guess, how are you finding the change in manager, and has that changed anything for you while you're at Nottingham Forest, and I guess the way that you play and your position in the team?
No, nothing's really changed for me personally in the team. New manager brings new ideas and definitely does that. He's a different manager. Nuno has a different belief, and he's trying to get that through to the boys. And we've been able to see it in some areas of the game that we've played in. We've done well in some games, done not so well in other parts of the games. But I'm sure when we put it all together, we'll be a force to be reckoned with.
Just quickly, Darren alluded to it just before. What this team can compete, this Always team, have shown they can compete with teams ranked higher than you. What is it, from a playing perspective, that you guys need to do to go to the next level and get results, draws, and wins against high-ranked opposition?
Look, he said it's that cutting edge. That front third is always the toughest thing to do. They always say the hardest thing is to score goals, and when you're playing up against top 30 in the world, it's always going to be tough. So we need to continue to get better, continue to strive to improve in that final third. And it's never going to be a finished article. We want to get better and better because we'll probably come up against a top 10 nation in the World Cup. So it's about knowing we can create stuff when we get to there, not just against top 50, top 30. We'll have to do it against top 10. So we always try to improve and get better and just have that cutting edge up top.
Well, guys, go out. Thank you.
Chris, Darren, Michael Burgess here. Chris, just on the Nottingham Forest, what's been happening? I mean, you've been through tough times before in your career. I can think of times at Burnley, at Leeds. So what kind of lessons do you take from those times in terms of how you approach things when things aren't going so well for you or for the team? What sort of lessons have you had from the past?
Look, yeah, football's up and down. It's never a straight line up in the footballing world. You always have your little dips in games and situations in football in the season. And unfortunately, we're just in one at the moment. But we've got to stick together, believe, and grind it out. The most important thing is believing in what the manager has in front of us and wants us to do. And that's what we need to take on board, and which we are. We believe in his process, and we just need to put it into practice for full and get results at the end of the day.
You think this international break came at a good time for you and for everyone just to have a change of environment?
Potentially, who knows really. You always want to, after a defeat, get back out there and play another game, and change and tweak things that we possibly didn't do well as players on the pitch. But yeah, it might have been good just for a change of environment, mindset on something else, and then come back ready to fire against Chelsea on the weekend.
Thanks, guys.
Next question, please.
I'll jump back in. Chris, just in terms of that last game, in the last window against Australia, and I guess the goal you scored, but more importantly, I guess how it was created, is that sort of like the dream sort of service you're looking to get from your teammates in the All Whites?
Well, yeah, I'm a striker that relies on service. I can't beat players and stick it on the top corner like some great players. But yeah, service in behind, crosses, ball slipped through. We created chances against Aussie in both away and home. But yeah, we just want to create more and be more clinical as a team and as personnel.
And Darren, just the way you would have seen Norway's sort of squad news in terms of who's not going to be there tomorrow, including I know Erling Haaland, but it's just your sort of reaction to seeing him sort of release a few players for this match.
Well, when we looked at the fixtures, we sort of predicted this. They had a big World Cup qualifier that they're obviously going to, go strong at, and we watched them play. They played very well, a very good team, strong depth. So we actually predicted certain things that would happen, and yeah, they've obviously sent a few people back to their clubs, but that their full squad is full of players playing 90 minutes every week in top environments. So, whilst Erling Haaland's a very, very good player, one of the best in the world, they've got other good players coming in. So I don't know if it's disappointing to not play against him, but it's probably definitely makes it slightly easier.
And Chris, if when you take the field, Tuesday night, you'll join Ivan Bisolic on 88 caps as the most capped All Whites player. I guess just a word on, what that milestone means to you in terms of, getting there. I mean, it should be one away from having it all to yourself.
Look, yeah, it's a great occasion to say that I've been able to join Ivan on that number, and all going well, it will happen. So I can't wait for that, but also I can't wait to put in a good performance to hopefully continue to build towards the World Cup.
You've had a few games now this year. Are you seeing, I know all the results haven't gone your way, but are you seeing the improvement or the growth and progress that you hope to see?
Who are you asking, that me or Darren?
Sorry, Darren. Sorry.
Okay, sorry. I mean, yes, we've definitely, when you look back over the last few years, we started building our possession and we got better at that, but we weren't creating enough chances. And then the last year, we've definitely worked on creating lots more goal-scoring chances. We went through the Oceania qualifying and scored lots of goals, and that was different. But the last few windows, we have created lots of good chances. We know there's going to be games where we'll take those chances and win games. So we know it's a game of results. So we want to win games of football. So we're not happy with that. But the possession's been good. We're creating chances. We just need that clinicalness in those moments. We need players to have those moments of quality, and then we get the goals and we win games of football. But there's lots of positives in regards to how we've defended as a team, positive, aggressive, compact. But then our possession. I think now we're a team that plays very good football, good possession. We build up good. We can progress through against good teams. And get into certain areas, and we're working on that final product. But there's definitely, you go back through all the games, we're creating chances, and we just need to take them.
I would know better than anyone, but I mean, not just in the games, but in trainings and that. Do you think something like that is building, that being clinical in the attacking third is coming, and you're building those connections and combinations to get that working, get that firing?
I mean, yeah, we score a lot of goals in training. But, I mean, like Chris said, it's the hardest thing in football, scoring goals at high level. International football or top level football, scoring goals is tough because you've got top level players trying to stop you do that. So we're working on it. We've got good players that get into good areas, and we'll have our moments. They're coming.
Sorry, just finally from me, just a word on the guy next to you and everything he's achieved and the achievement he will achieve on Wednesday morning out, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. What Chris has done for New Zealand is amazing in regards to putting football on the map at the highest level. And I'll embarrass him here, but he's so passionate about coming. He's been every tour, plays, comes, travels, puts himself through a lot to be here to represent New Zealand because he's proud. So this is recognition, but it won't stop at this. I've no doubt we'll see the triple figure at some stage.
Well, thanks, yes.
Darren, just a thought on, without giving it too much away, but your thoughts around retaining a lot of the same starting 11 or making quite a few changes for this match compared to Poland?
We haven't got the ability to make mass changes, but there'll definitely be some tweaks.
And what you were saying before, what do you think about the balance the team has got at the moment between keeping the ball, keeping possession, and playing quick, playing direct, playing forward?
I think it's something we're working on, and we've done a lot of talking about that over the last couple of camps. And there's some good visible changes of mentality in regards to keeping the ball and trying to hurt teams. We're starting to play in behind a bit more. We're starting to play a little bit more direct at times. I think we need to be a team that is varied. We're never going to be a direct long ball team because we're not built like that. The players we have in the squad are built to play a different type of football. So we've become a pretty good team at that. Now it's about just becoming more effective, and once we get into certain positions, taking advantage of our good possession and trying to hurt teams. So I think you've seen, going back to probably, the Australia games, because we beat Côte d'Ivoire, but, we played better against Australia. We probably played better against Poland than we did against Côte d'Ivoire, but we beat them and they were the African champions. So, that's football. It's a different, every game's different. And what we need to do is bring everything together at the same time. We need to be really strong defensively, but then get into those goal-scoring areas and take our chances. And I've no doubt it's going to come together. It's just, will it be tomorrow, or will it be the next tour, or will it be at the World Cup?
And Chris, a long career, amazing career. I imagine you've been to Norway before. Is it still a buzz coming to these new countries, or is it just work for you?
No, it's actually exciting. It's nice to get out and have a little walk around. We always try and make sure we're in locations that we're close to coffee shops and things like that to be able to get out and just be in the environment that we're in. So yeah, it's nice. It's lovely to see different parts of the world, of course. But we are here to do the business, and I'm sure it's going to be tough come Tuesday.
Thanks, Charles.
Okay, any further questions from anybody?
One question here from
Sorry,
Norway.
Yep, go ahead.
Thanks. This is Stefan from Norwegian VG. Question for Chris. As a top Premier League striker yourself, can you try to describe for us that haven't played in the Premier League, what is it that Erling Haaland does that is so impressive that makes him reach those goals and those numbers of goals and do the things he does on the field?
Look, I think he's just a special talent. Probably one of those generational talents we all talk about, Ronaldo, Messi, and that coming through. He's definitely got the capabilities of being up there with those types of players in history. The pace, the power, he's got everything. Finishing ability. As an all-round striker, he's very, very good. He's someone, even at my age of 33, I look up to, and the way he finishes goals, the way he takes goals, the way he gets in positions to take goals. I think more for me as a striker, I watch his movement of where he positions himself in and around the box, and it's I think that's one of the key key things he has to create goals and score goals is his positioning. And there's no getting away from him. He's one of the top class strikers. If he stays in the Premier League, he'll be one of the all-time great strikers in the Premier League, just because of the numbers he scores and goals and the influence he has on his team to create chances, score goals, and win games.
And a follow up on that, with yourself and his performances in the Premier League the last year, is that the return of the big striker, the big the number 9, as opposed to all the false 9s we have had in the last 10 years ish?
Look, yeah, let's hope so. That's what we want to bring back, and Erling's doing a great job with that, and hopefully I'm playing a part. And Strand's probably doing the exact same as well at Wolves. So it's great to have those type of strikers come back into fashion. Proper goal scoring number 9s, and we need to continue to score goals to keep it in fashion.
Thank you.
Okay, any further questions from anybody?
One last one for Dor.
Sorry, I think that was Tor.
Yeah. Norway are going to do a lot of changes. Haaland is not going to play. How disappointed is that? Question to the coach.
I mean, it's always nice when you put yourself up against a top player in the world, but being honest, he's a very, very good player. He's a big goal scoring threat for Norway. So if he's not on the pitch, they're not as good a team, but they're still a very good team. So it is what it is. We've had games where Chris hasn't played, but we're still a good team. But you're a slightly different team without certain players. So I think it would have been nice to see him up close. Obviously, Chris gets to do that pretty regularly in the Premier League. So, but obviously, he's a very good player for them. So it's probably a good thing for us.
And one more question. This year, 2025, how has this season been for you?
For me or Chris?
Yeah, to the coach, the national team, the result this season.
Yeah, I mean we've been building really well. We qualified for the World Cup really early, and we got our job done in Oceania, and then since then we've played every window, and we've played top 50 teams in the world. We had games against Ukraine and Côte d'Ivoire. When we beat them, they were the African champions, and we gave Ukraine a really good game. So what we wanted to do when we qualified was play every window against different confederations, against teams that are top 50 in the world. So we're starting to see, once we get to the World Cup draw and the draw comes out, we've had experience against the different confederations, against the better ranked teams in the world, which is what we're going to face. So, so far I think we've been building pretty well. Performances have been good. Obviously Australia, 2 games, performances were quite good. Certainly a lot of positives out of the game. But, the results haven't been what we wanted.
Thank you.
Okay, final question. I'll just hand over to Andrew, who's been trying to ask a question for a while.
Darren, just on the midfield against Poland, obviously not having Joe was sort of out of your control, but I know there's been a lot of talk about getting him and Ryan and Marco together. And did you think, sort of playing it with just Ryan and Marco, did you think that there was anything sort of missing that you sort of missed from having Joe there?
I mean, Joe's a very good player. We're blessed now with those 3. They're like 3 top players, top people. It'd be great to find a way to get them all on the pitch together. We'll have a look at that. But you miss one of them. The other 2 played very well. In the Australia games, we missed Marco. And Joe and Ryan were very good. So we've got some good options. We've got some decisions to make, and potentially it'd be very nice seeing them all play together. It'd be nice when at some stage we get our whole group, fully fit, available, and we can put them on the pitch. We're obviously missing Libby and Eli, and some other players for this tour. But we'll have our moments, and they're coming.
Cool, thanks, guys.
Awesome. On that note, we will call it. Thanks everybody for joining us. Thanks Darren, thanks Woodsy. And we will send this all out to you shortly. Cheers everybody. Good luck for games, guys.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks, guys.